What's good, everybody? BDJ Gaming here. Going to be doing another episode of MLB The Show 24 franchise mode. This time with the Angels. We did the Astros in the last video. Made the playoffs, made some deep runs, just could not get the World Series championship. Maybe this Angels team we can get some playoff success with. Obviously, their owner has spent some money. It ain't like the Angels don't spend money. It's just they haven't spent money on the right players. Ohtani and Trout, obviously those players have worked out for them, but for a lot of the others, it has not. They spent money on Pujols. Pujols obviously put up solid numbers for them. Just wasn't really the same guy he was in St. Louis. They spent money on Josh Hamilton. That didn't work out. They spent money on Anthony Rendon as we look at his contract. Has not been good at all. He's averaging around 50 games a year in his 4 years with the Angels so far. It's just been a bad deal. And honestly, like, you look at his 2019 World Series year with the Washington Nats, like, you would think, okay, this is a good deal. They're adding a guy who hits around 20 home runs a year, come off a 34 home run campaign, drove at 126. You think, okay, we had him in our lineup with Mike Trout and Ohtani, we're getting somewhere, and it just hasn't worked out. And sometimes that happens, but for the Angels, it seems like it happens all the time. So let's take a look at this roster and what we're going to be working with. Obviously, you need an ace. Jose Soriano, only 25 years old, is going to be our number one starter for now. Pretty good year last year, 3.64 ERA, so hopefully he's a good part of our starting pitching core. We have Tyler Anderson, got 2 years left on his deal, 34 years of age. Might put him on the trade block the first year, see if we can get anything back, maybe open up some money cap space wise. Reed Detmers, who threw a no-hitter a few years ago, been up and down. I think they optioned him this season. He just has really just been, he's good one month and bad the other month. Still only 24 years of age, though, so a lot of potential still there. Patrick Sandoval, 27 years of age, has been really reliable in the rotation for them. And then you got Chase Silseth, who I called up for the minor leagues, only 23 years of age. You got Griffin Canning, and you got Zach Plesac. So they got some starting pitching depth. Do we have any lights out starting pitching? Nobody over 80, no. But we do have a lot of guys who can plug in the rotation. We do have Jose Suarez, who's been in and out of the rotation, been having some good years, some bad years. Other than that, though, no B or A potential prospects. Look at the bullpen. Hunter Strickland, the veteran, our best relief pitcher. Maybe look to trade him as well if we're not in contention. You got Carl Edwards Jr., who we signed in free agency. Saw he was a free agent, signed him to a 2-year deal, $2.2 million per year. Thought we could really use an upgrade in the bullpen. We'll see how he's going to be in the pen. Jose Cisnero, former Tiger. Luis Garcia, who's getting up there in age, might need to look to move him as well. Really was electric for the Cardinals and Padres a few years ago. Adam Simber, the veteran. So a lot of veterans. We also signed Dinelson Lamet to a 1-year deal. Maybe he breaks the bullpen or, makes it to the bullpen. And you got Matt Moore, the veteran. Do have a few guys who could be options later on. Ronzi Contreras, who the Pirates got rid of, he could be an option. Only 24 years of age. And you got Ben Joyce, 23 years of age. So those are two guys who have potential to be very good, or we could use in trade packages. Carlos Estevez is the closer, the veteran, 1 year left on his deal. And you have Andrew Wantz. I think that's how you pronounce it. Wantz, Andrew Wantz. I said Wantz. Andrew Wantz. I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologize, Angel fans, if I botched that. And then you have catcher Logan O'Hoppe. Been pretty good for them. Had 14 home runs, only 24 years of age. So they have some young players to look forward to on this team. It ain't like they're just have a bunch of like old players and they just don't know what they're going to be. And you don't know what these younger players are going to be either. But like veterans, they have some veterans mixed in, but they're really trying to get some of these younger players some playing time, especially with Trout out. Nolan Schemmel, young first baseman. First base probably something to upgrade. Luis Renifo could be still pretty good. I mean, he was good the last 2 years for the Angels. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Maybe look to re-sign him. He can play everywhere over the diamond. Brandon Drury, the veteran, got 1 year left on his deal. Very good year last year, 26 home runs. We have already talked about Anthony Rendon. We got Zach Neto at shortstop with a very high on. Definitely could be very good for them. Nobody else really besides Errol Vera, who's B potential. Left field, you got Taylor Ward, who's been pretty good for them as well. Nobody else in the left field really standing out. Mike Trout, obviously one of the greatest players to ever play the game, just has had issues staying healthy the last few years. Hopefully he can get his health back on track next season, as he had to have pretty sure knee surgery. But man, there's no arguing about how everybody wants to see Mike Trout in the postseason, and he can ask for a trade. He's a loyal guy. I respect that. But at a certain point, and obviously it's on him too, because he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So, I mean, what value does he realistically have on that contract with the health issues he's had? but we're hoping he can carry us to a playoff berth. Kevin Pillar, who's really started swinging the bat better. That's why he's at 80 overall, so he'll be a part of our team. Jake Marisnick, the veteran. Then right field, you got Joe Odell, who's really starting to hit for more power. He's still only 25 years of old. 25 years old. Could see the Angels moving him at the deadline for somebody else. And you got Mickey Moniak, who hasn't really worked out for them. So there's players to look forward to, obviously, on this Angels team. Zach Neto. You have Renifo, who's been pretty good. You got Nolan Shaniel. You got Logan O'Happy. You got some young starters. Like, it ain't like the Angels are completely in no man's land like the Oakland A's, but they do have a lot of work they need to do to this roster. I think, eventually they're going to trade Mike Trout. I don't see them keeping him forever, especially if they really want to do a full-on rebuild and just start over, which they do have that ownership. Apparently, Artie Emanuel is leaving, I'm pretty sure. So maybe they get new ownership who just wants to revamp this whole roster. But we'll see what we can go with. And I might end up signing Brandon Belt to play first base, just to have a veteran bat. And, Miguel Sano, we have a veteran, but he's not going to do much. So I'll see if we end up doing that, and we'll get to the trade deadline, and I'll show you guys how we're looking. First trade we're going to make, we got offered this from the Yankees. Caleb Ferguson, who's 27. Really good season so far. 1.52 ERA. We're going to trade him for Luis Garcia, who they offered. Not having a great year. His overall is going to start declining free agent after the year. It's better to just get rid of him now instead of losing him for nothing. We're going to offer the Detroit Tigers. Now, I know you guys are saying Anthony Rendon. Why is he in this? So we're doing one of these trades where we incentivize them to accept it. We're throwing Nolan Schwaniel. I know I always botch that. He's really having a great year in AAA. We just have Brandon Belt, who we're probably going to end up moving as well. And we probably need to get a first baseman in a free agency or trade. So we're going to throw him in there, one of our best prospects. Patrick Sandoval is still only 27. Really just hasn't had a good year. Maybe a change of scenery helps him out. There's not really a lot of room on our team anyways for him. And then we're going to throw in Anthony Rendon, who's been on the bench, hitting 320, but just hasn't played. And we open up a ton of cap space. We get a young starter in Casey Mize, 3.38 ERA. He's only 26, a potential. Could be a guy we put in the rotation the next 2 seasons. I really like this deal, and it helps us clear up cap space. The trade we're going to accept. We've got him in a few other franchises as well. The Phillies are offering a Spencer Turnbull, who we have for another year after this, really having a great year, 2.62 earned run average. For free agent to be Carlos Estevez, who's having an okay year. I mean, ERA over 4 for a closer ain't the best, but we get something back for a guy who's probably going to leave in free agency. So we are close to the trade deadline. We still need a first baseman. Brandon Belt's an expiring contract. He's having a pretty solid year, 12 home runs, 52 RBIs, 268 average. But we need a long-term option, or at least an option that we have next year as well. And we're going to get Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles, 17 home runs on the year. He's probably DHing, platooning. He'll get to play every day here. We're going to trade him for Brandon Belt. And we're going to throw in a young outfitter, Deshaun Knowles, who's 23, having a pretty good year in AAA. So I think this is a good trade. So here we are, first season's trade deadline. We're sitting 10.5 games out of first, 49 and 48, not where we want to be, obviously, in the standings. Wild card, we're about 7 out, not looking good for us to make a wild card run. So let's see what everybody's been doing and what potential trades we can make. We're probably going to be sellers, so let's take a look. Jose Soriano has not been good at all. 5.51 ERA. Wow. Reed Detmers has not been any better. 4-10, 5.12 ERA. So free agency in the offseason, we're definitely going to have to work on this rotation. Tyler Anderson, the veteran, another guy we maybe look to keep or trade off. We'll have to see. Chase Silset's been good. Rookie. Not a rookie. I don't know why I said rookie. He's pretty young, though, with only 23, so still young in his major league career. 3.63 ERA for him. And then Casey Mize, since we got him in the trade, has been really good. 3.51. So our 2 top starters have been bad. Everybody else, the bottom 3 have done their roles. Caleb Ferguson's been spectacular. 1.52 ERA. Then Nelson Lamette's been solid out of the pen, ERA of 4.26. Carl Edwards Jr. has been awesome as well, 1.57 earned run average. Matt Moore's been very good, 3.13 ERA, another guy we could potentially look to move. Spencer Turnbull's been good. He's always good in franchise, it seems like. Jose Cisneros has been a reliable option when he's healthy. Hunter Strickland's been solid. And then Andrew Wantz, who we put as the closer, 3.06 ERA. So our bullpen's been surprisingly very good. It's really the part of the team I thought was going to struggle, and we've been having a really good bullpen. So let's take a look at this lineup. Joe Adele did get hurt. He tore his collarbone. He's been out for like 2 months. He should be back soon. Let me take a look real quick. So 3 to 4 weeks, broken collarbone. He was having a pretty good year too. 74 games at 15 home runs. So let's take a look at this lineup. Luis Rengifo, not a great year. I mean, his numbers don't really look horrible at this point compared to his last two, but his numbers are down across the board. Zach Nato, not, numbers that jump off the page like, oh my goodness, he's having a hell of a year. But I mean, he's not been bad for a second-year player. Mike Trout's doing Mike Trout things, 25 home runs, 60 ribbies. We got to get him some protection in the lineup in the offseason. I mean, Ryan O'Hearn's a good power bat, but I wouldn't really say he's great protection for Mike Trout. But Ryan O'Hearn, we've had him for about a week, so can't really say he's having a good year overall. Taylor Ward, who we've gotten a lot of interest in trades, is having a pretty solid year as well for us. We'll have to see what's out there. I mean, anything's on the table. Kevin Pillar, we definitely could look to move. 18 home runs for Kevin Pillar, which is impressive. Brandon Drury just hasn't gotten the job done. Another guy who's on an expiring contract. Logan O'Hoppe, not great offensively. Mickey Moniak's not done nothing. And we look at the bench. Evan White's been good in limited role. Jordan Adams, the rookie. Well, not a rookie. Well, I guess you can count him as a rookie because he only played 17 games his first year. Not done much. Matt Theus, I think it's Matt Theus. Been good as a backup catcher. And then Luis Gilmore. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Luis Gilmore. Guillorme, that's who it is, Luis Guillorme. I knew it was on the tip of my tongue. I just couldn't think of it. I know he played for the Mets, so apologies. Been good. 0.257 batting average, hitting 257. So we look at this team, and there's a lot of veterans we can move. As we're sitting 9 games under, we're not, like I say, going to do much. So I'm going to go through some trades, see what we can make happen. I'll show you guys what the trades are, and we'll get this first season wrapped up, and then we'll be on to the second season. What trade we're going to make, we're going to trade Tyler Anderson to the Red Sox for Cedane Rafaela, young center fielder. If we end up moving Kevin Pillar, he can take over his role and get an opportunity to play. So we're going to ship Kevin Pillar to the Toronto Blue Jays for Alejandro Kirk. This is a trade they offered us. We do need a backup catcher. Maybe him and Logan O'Hoppe can, platoon. I think this is a really good get for us. We're going to make before we send to the end of the season. We're going to trade Brandon Drury, who's been hit or miss this year, Strickland, who's been very good, and Matt Moore, who's been very good. 3 expiring contracts, but we're giving them 3 assets for a playoff run. For Christopher Moreau, who's still only 24 years of age, 83 overall. We can plug him anywhere around the diamond. I think this is a trade that helps us in the next 2 seasons. Regular season is in the books. We end up finishing 79-83. Not the season we really wanted. Kind of expected it, though, because this Angels team wasn't built to win right now, so we really had to try to get going the second season. I really like a lot of the moves we made at the deadline, though. Hopefully those have a good impact next season. So let's take a look at the starting rotation. Casey Mize. First half season as an Angel was a success. 3.73 earned run average for Casey. Reed Detmers turned it around in the second half. Still a bad year overall for Casey. Reed Detmers. But his ERA was like over 5, so he definitely had a better second half. Jose Soriano just had a horrible season. 5.97 ERA. Not sure if he's a starter going forward. Probably more of a long relief pitcher. Maybe we even include him in a package for something else. We'll have to see. Chase Silseth gave us a great year as a 4th starter, 3.85 ERA. And then Griffin Canning was up and down to the minor leagues and major leagues because he had so much starters. After the trades, he got an opportunity, and he made the most of it, 4.05 ERA. Caleb Ferguson was an awesome trade acquisition, 2.21 earned run average. Lamet, okay season. Carl Edwards Jr. was spectacular, 1.71 ERA. Zach Plesac, we ended up calling him up in the second half of the season. He gave us some quality innings, 3.67 ERA. Spencer Turnbull, successful season for him after a down year last year in Detroit. Jose Cisnero was hurt a lot of the year, but when he pitched, he was great. Contreras didn't pitch an inning. Andrew Wantz as our closer was a success, 3.20 ERA. So pitching-wise, pretty successful overall. And take a look at the lineup. Zach Neto, not the most successful second season, but Not horrible overall. Luis Rendifo, down year. About where his numbers were, just a little bit down power-wise, but his average is down, OPS is down. Hopefully he gets that back up next year. Mike Trout, awesome year, 36 home runs, 89 RBIs. Taylor Ward gave us a good season, 25 home runs, 79 RBIs. Logan O'Hoppe turned his season around. His numbers weren't looking that great at the trade deadline, but he ended up putting up a good year. Christopher Morel gave us 25 home runs, 66 RBIs. I really like him at third base. I think he's going to be a huge contributor for us these next 2 seasons. Joe Adell was hurt, didn't hit for average, which he hasn't really hit for average in his career anyways. Gave us 18 home runs, so still a power bat we're hoping to rely on even if we platoon him. And then Rafaela, solid year, 14 home runs, 45 RBIs. Probably going to be more of a bench bat for us and a guy who can plug in everywhere across the infield. And Evan White, not a great year. Alejandro Kirk, we platooned him and O'Hoppe, and he gave us a solid year, 290 average. Luis Guillorme, okay numbers. And then we ended up keeping Matt Thias around, which wasn't a bad move. He could play first and third, and he still gave us a good year. Then Kyron Paris, the rookie, not bad. 4 for 16, limited at bats. So let's see who wins the World Series here. Orioles defeat the Braves, I think it said. And we'll have to see. So back to what we need to do. So look at this lineup. We could use a first baseman for sure. Actually, no, I forgot we had Ryan O'Hearn. My bad. Okay, he ended up getting hurt. Had 20 home runs this year, so big bat for us. We move him back up to the major leagues. Yeah, he ended up getting hurt. I apologize. So we look at this lineup. I don't really see a lot of holes in this lineup. Could we use an improvement at second base over Rendifo? Yeah. Catcher, I think we got 2 young catchers who can do the job. Maybe a utility guy off the bench would help over Guillorme. I think that would be a good move. The lineup looks pretty good, though, if everybody's healthy. I think we could use another big bat in the lineup. That's a good lineup. And then pitching, we need to get probably 2 starters and move Soriano and Canning to the bullpen and see if that helps because we don't have a clear-cut ace. We don't even really have a number 2 right now in this rotation. So we'll really have to work on that. So I'm going to get to work. I will see you guys at the beginning of the second season. About to get the second season underway here. We made some moves. We ended up signing 2 major starting pitchers. We needed an ace and a number 2. We signed Corbin Burns, 4-year, $18.8 million per year. Had a great year last year in Baltimore. We needed to get some guys here, and he's from California, so it makes a lot of sense. Same with Jack Flaherty from California, coming off a very good year. Those 2 as number 1 and 2 in our rotation is going to make a huge difference, in my opinion. And then we still got some young guys like Reed Detmers, Casey Mize, Chase Silseth. So we got some options. I really like that. We ended up signing Yimi Garcia to a 1-year, $7.5 million deal. Come off a spectacular year in Toronto. Think he'll help out our bullpen. We did lose a few bullpen pieces. I think our bullpen would be good enough to get us by. But we definitely might need to look at that at the deadline, and hopefully we're in contention. We ended up bringing Carl Edwards Jr. back, Turnbull, Caleb Ferguson. Matt Moore we ended up seeing on the free agent market. Realized, okay, we need a few extra relief pitchers. Brought him back. We signed Clay Holmes to be our closer, $6.4 million for 1 year. Had a down year last year in New York. Maybe he can bounce back with us on a pretty reasonable deal too. And then Andrew wants to still be in the bullpen as well. Catcher is still the same. Ryan O'Hearn will be at first base, second base Rendifo, third base Christopher Morel, shortstop. Pretty much our offense is pretty much the same as last year. I think our offense is pretty good. We ended up signing Paul DeYoung to be a bench bat, maybe a platoon bat. Had 20 home runs last year in Chicago. Maybe he can give us some power off the bench. Taylor Ward, Trout, Odell will be our outfield with Rafaela being a backup outfielder / utility guy. I think this team's good to compete. We really needed an ace. We went out and got 2 guys you could consider aces right now, Flaherty and Corbin Burns. So I think that's going to make a huge difference. So let's get the second season on the road. Who's out of first place? It's been an injury-riddled season, y'all. It has not been fun. Christopher Morel's been out about 3 months with a fractured shin. He wasn't having a good year at all anyways. He's been very underwhelming for us. I think we had another injury. Luis Rendifo, he's out 1 to 2 months with a fractured arm. Just 2 big parts of our lineup out. I think we had somebody else was injured as well. Can't think who it is. I think, yeah, Ryan O'Hearn, he ended up getting hurt at the beginning of the season, missing a bunch of games. Like, we just had a lot of our lineup out, and it just hasn't been good. But hey, we're in it right now. We're in a wild card spot. We're 4 games over 500. So, it's surprising that we're in contention at all right now due to all the injuries. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna just skim through what everybody's been doing. Flaherty's been awesome for us. Corbin Burns has been awesome. So those two have been doing their jobs. Reed Detmers has been good. Casey Mize. So our whole rotation really has been very, very good. So that's good to see. Bullpen, Matt Moore, we picked him back up. It's been worth it. 1.56 ERA. Jose Soriano's been better out of the pen. Spencer Turnbull's ERA up a little bit. Still not a bad year. Carl Edwards Jr. has been one of our best relievers the last 2 seasons. Caleb Ferguson, another great year for him. Andrew Wantz, ERA up a lot. And then Clay Holmes, good year, 3.21 ERA. And then Yimi Garcia in that closer spot, been very good. So our pitching, for the most part, has been very, very good. I can't really say we need to upgrade the pitching. Let's see how the lineup's been, even with the injuries. Zach Nato just hasn't really been that great for us so far. Joe Adell, okay season. Mike Trout, another great year for him. Paul DeYoung's been a bright spot for us. 20 home runs at the trade deadline. He's hitting cleanup too, which is crazy. But with the injuries and everything, he's getting an opportunity to play a lot more than he probably envisioned, and he's been producing. Ryan O'Hearn just hasn't really gotten the bat going. Like I said, he was injured at the beginning of the year. Taylor Ward's having another good year. Logan O'Hoppy's just not been hitting at all offensively. Rafaela's made the most out of his opportunities. He's playing pretty well. Luis Guillorme, been good and limited at bats at second base. Evan White, not done too much. Alejandro Kirk's been very good. Matt Theus, 275 average. He's our third catcher, but basically he's playing first and third too. And then Mickey Moniak's been pretty good as well off the bench. So really, like, it's just the injuries I think that have hurt us. Like, our team doesn't look that bad overall. Like, a few spots in our lineup obviously ain't hitting, but I mean that's we don't have Christopher Morel, we don't have Luis Rendifo. Like, if we look at the trade block, I've got Matt McLean so much I really don't want to get him. He's not having a great year anyways. Lane Thomas, we're already good in the outfield. We put Clay Holmes on there just to see if we get anything since he's a free agent after the year. Edmundo Sosa would be an option. He would be under club control for the rest of this franchise mode. He's got very good contact against lefties. I'm going to see who the Phillies want for Edmundo Sosa. So they want Paul DeYoung and Zach Plesac, Jose Soriano and Clay Holmes, Matt Moore and Paul DeYoung. I really don't want to give up DeYoung. So let's see. It's funny because they named this guy Caleb Ketchup. I thought that was kind of hilarious. But anyways, who do we give up? We got Aurel Vera, young outfielder I could potentially give up. We throw Guillorme in there. And spice things up, we'll throw in Anthony Cortez. So this seems like a fair trade. They're getting a young shortstop, a pretty decent closer, and Guillorme is just a throw-in. And we get Sosa, who can fill in for Rendifo, and maybe they can even platoon, and he could even potentially take Rendifo's spot because he is a free agent after the year. So that's something to look at as well. So we're going to make this trade. So that'd be the one trade I think we're going to make. I don't want to sound lazy like, oh, you ain't making that many moves and all that. And I'm not. But if we get healthy, I think we can really make the playoffs. We just have had trouble staying healthy. We pitched great. Our lineup, for the most part, has been hitting. It's just the guys who are just kind of place holders for now aren't hitting. But if we get our whole team back, I could see us making a run. It might be a game where that doesn't pay off, but I'm about to see. So I'll see you guys at the end of the season. And in my gamble did not pay off. We just fell apart in the second half. 79 and 83 is the record. 6 games out of a wild card. We ended up having a league leader. Jack Flaherty led the league in WAR. But other than that, not the year we expected. Injuries, inconsistent play. So let's say everybody finished the year. Zach Nato just hasn't hit like we expected. Yeah, his overall's going up. I just expect better average, especially for a guy with 94 contact. Well, Luis Rendifo, not a great year even when he played. Probably going to let him walk in free agency unless we can get him on a bargain deal. Mike Trout, another Mike Trout season. Christopher Morel just could never get the bat going, just was hurt, just couldn't get going. Ryan O'Hearn, another guy who just didn't hit like we expected. First base is definitely something we'll look at in free agency. Taylor Ward, another good year. Logan O'Hoppe just didn't hit. Rafaela didn't hit. Edmundo Sosa was a pleasant surprise. 25 home runs for Sosa, who's got 93 power against lefties. So hopefully he's a big bat at second base for us next year. Alejandro Kirk gave us solid production. Joe Adell, not a bad season. Matt Tias, not bad. And then Paul DeYoung gave us 25 home runs. So a lot of guys in this lineup will definitely probably look to replace. Rendifo and O'Hearn are probably two guys we'll look to replace. Everybody else will probably keep. I feel like everybody else has done a solid job. Obviously, the catching spot from O'Hoppe hasn't produced like we expected. So we'll have to see maybe. I mean, I think him and Kirk, if we hit them ninth, that's really not that bad. Jack Flaherty was spectacular, 13 and 12, 3.13 earned run average. Corbin Burns was just as good, 15 and 9, 2.68 ERA. Reed Detmers bounced back smoothly, 3.85. Casey Mize was good, about the same as he was last year, 3.72. And then Chase Silseth, for your whole rotation to have an ERA under 4 is really good. So rotation did their jobs. Matt Moore was good, but probably won't bring him back. Jose Soriano gave us a solid campaign out of the pen. It's better than what he was as a starter. Spencer Turnbull, down year. Free agent half of the year. We'll have to see what's out there. Carl Edwards Jr., another guy who had a good year, 1.80 ERA. Caleb Ferguson's been one of our best relievers since the trade. Another good year for him. Andrew Wantz was not good. Clay Holmes, not great. And then Yimi Garcia was spectacular, 2.08 ERA. So let's see who wins this World Series before we get this third season. And hopefully the third season is the season we at least make the playoffs. Hoping, because we missed playoffs 2 years. I think we finished with the same record both years. So we got some work to do. I will see you guys at the beginning of the third season. Hopefully we got a better roster. Third season, can we make the playoffs? We're about to find out. We got the same starting rotation. Silseth, Mize, Detmers, Burns, Flaherty. They did a really good job last season. No need to really add to that. Bullpen, we signed Jeff Hoffman. Had a down year last year, but hopefully he could fill in for that closer spot. We ended up losing Clay Holmes in free agency. Signed Jacob Webb as well. Had a down year. Cheap deal. Hopefully he's a bounce back candidate for us as well. I think the bullpen will be pretty solid. We still got Andrew Wantz, probably be a setup man. Catcher, catcher's still the same. First base, we ended up signing Josh Naylor to a 5-year deal. Really, that protection behind Mike Trout we need. Ryan O'Hearn obviously was hurt, didn't really produce like we had hoped. Second base, Sosa. Third base, Morel. We did sign Isaiah Kiner for Lefo to be our utility guy off the bench. And then we signed Paul DeYoung back to a 1-year, $3.5 million deal. And the outfield's still the same. So we had a few additions, nothing crazy, but I feel like it fixed what we needed to fix. So hopefully we can get to the playoffs. Let's do it. And we're going to add to this rotation, even though this rotation has been very good. Chase Silseth's been struggling. Still has a ton of potential. I think the Marlins would love this trade. We're going to trade for Braxton Garrett, who's having a great year. We're going to trade Chase Silseth and Eduardo Casellas, who's 18, already a 71 overall, pitching very well in Double-A. I think this is a fair trade. Let's do it. Once again, has been the negative part of our team. And I saw Bo Bichette was on the trade block. Is he having a phenomenal year? No, but he adds a more experienced shortstop and a guy who can be clutch for us at any moment. We're going to trade them Tom Garcia, first baseman, 22 years of age. Felix Morabel, shortstop, 20 years of age. And we're going to give them Zach Nato, who just hasn't worked out for us for whatever reason. He just hasn't hit. And we need to try to get this offense a jolt and get it going. So we're going to get Bo Bichette. 66 and 44, one game ahead of the Astros and 2.5 games above the Rangers for first place. Now, they're both in the wild card. I think they're like 4 or 5 games up on the other teams. I think we got a pretty good shot at making the wild card or the division. We made some big moves. Obviously, we went out and got Braxton Garrett for our rotation. He's been great. We went out and got Bo Bichette for our lineup to help that out. I think those are the 2 big moves we're going to make. We're playing well. Let's skim through everybody real quick. Sosa's been good. Bichette. Mike Trout's another good year. Josh Naylor, not what we expected so far, unfortunately. Taylor Ward, another phenomenal year. Christopher Morel hasn't hit like we expected either. Raphael's been decent. Joe Adell's been good. Logan O'Happy's been pretty solid. Kiner Falefa's been doing his job off the bench. Alejandro Kirk's been platooning, not really great offensive numbers. Paul DeYoung just keeps hitting for us. He's been a bright spot. And then Matt Theus has been okay. Look at the pitching, our rotation. Jack Flaherty, another phenomenal year. Corbin Burns, another phenomenal year. 11-1 with a 2.30 ERA. Braxton Garrett showed his numbers. Casey Mize, another good year. And then Reed Detmers has been great as well. So our whole rotation, once again, has been our bright spot. Contreras has been good, finally getting opportunity. Jose Soriano's been decent. How about Spencer Turnbull? 1.14 ERA. Carl Edwards Jr. down year. Caleb Ferguson about where he was last year. Jacob Webb's been a bounce back candidate like we hoped. Andrew Wantz has not been great at all. And then Jeff Hoffman has been unhittable. 44 saves already. Only blew 2 saves, 0.60 ERA. What a trade or free agent acquisition he was. So we're going to send him to the end of the season. Hopefully we can get a playoff run and maybe we shock the world and win a World Series. Let's do it. The final season is over. We have made the playoffs. We win the division. 96 wins. What a turnaround for us after being 4 games under 500 last year. We had some league leaders. Corbin Burns, ERA, winning percentage, wins. Jeff Hoffman with 60 saves and Corbin Burns with a whip under 1. Phenomenal year for those two. Jeff Hoffman gets delivery man of the year. You see why. And then Corbin Burns wins the Cy Young. So what a year for those two. Let's see how everybody did before we get this final playoff run underway. Edmundo Sosa with 29 home runs, 99 power against lefties. Phenomenal year. Bo Bichette was pretty good for us, not anything spectacular. Mike Trout, we all know how good he's been for us. Josh Naylor ended up having a second half for the ages, 31 home runs to end the season. Taylor Ward with 25 home runs. Chris Morel had an okay season. Just hasn't worked out like I'd hoped he would for us in Anaheim. Rafaela, okay season. Joe Adell ended up finishing with 21 home runs. Logan O'Hoppe, solid year as a catcher. Kiner Falefa gave us good production. Alejandro Kirk was okay. Paul DeYoung with another good year. And then Matt Theus was good as well. Let's take a look at the rotation. Jack Flaherty, 15-6, 2.78 earned run average. Corbin Burns, 19-2 with a 2.18 ERA. Wow. Talk about phenomenal. Braxton Garrett, can't expect much better than that. Number 3, number 4, 14-7, 3.20 ERA. And then Reed Detmers, 3.81 ERA for him. So rotation got the job done. Jose Soriano, 4.78 ERA. Spencer Turnbull was phenomenal in the first half. The second half, he couldn't get it going. Carl Edwards Jr., down year. Caleb Ferguson, another great year. Jacob Webb was a great acquisition, ERA under 2. Andrew Wantz, just not a good year. And then Jeff Hoffman, 60 saves, unreal. So let's get this playoff run going. Who will we be playing in the first round? Facing the Texas Rangers, division rival. Let's see if we can get the win at home. Jack Flaherty on the mound. You could debate Corbin Burns shouldn't have pitched, but I think they both were phenomenal. Robbie Ray gives up an early run. Josh Naylor with the RBI double. Let's see if Flaherty can keep us the lead now. Solo shot by Krim ties the game. 2-run bomb by Bo Bichette gets us right back in the lead. Flaherty in a little bit of a jam, but gets out of it. Another run scores thanks to Joe Adell, so 3-1. Robbie Ray's been decent for them in this game, not nothing spectacular. Solo shot by Corey Seager. Flaherty's in a little bit of a jam. It's time to take him out. We're going to bring in Spencer Turnbull. 3-run go-ahead home run by Adolis Garcia. Oh my goodness, he gives up another run. Bring up Jacob Webb. Down 2. Robbie Ray still in the game. 2 on, 2 out. We can't get nobody home. Lead off double. We're going to go. We walk Corey Seager because he burned us earlier. We're going to bring in Caleb Ferguson and gets a clutch double play. They go to Jose Leclerc out of the pen. Shuts us down. Let's bring in Carl Edwards Jr. Error definitely comes back to haunt us in the inning. 3-run score and it's 10-2 Texas. Cole win in the game. Little bit of a trouble, but gets out of it. And we bring in Soriano to close, or not close, but just give us one more inning. Josh Shabord's in the game, and we get smoked in game 1 by our division rival. Not good. That error really hurt us that one inning. So we go to our Cy Young Award winner, Corbin Burns. Can he get us back in this series and tie it 1-1? Garrett Crochet on the mound for Texas. Both pitchers look good so far in this game. Back-to-back singles, but doesn't lead to nothing. Lead one out double, a walk, doesn't score. We only have one hit through 4 innings. We are being shut down here. Corbin Burns keeping us in the game though. Man, this is a pitching duel. Solo shot by Bo Bichette. We finally get something going off Crochet. Can Corbin Burns, okay, leadoff walk and a double play and a fly out. I think we're going to go for the complete game. Solo shot by Joe Waddell. And it's 2-0. Could Corbin Burns give us a complete game? He does. A Cy Young Award winner, pitches like a Cy Young Award winner, and gets us back in the series, tied 1-1. Now we're in Texas. Got Braxton Garrett, our trade acquisition, on the mound against Aaron Savali. And we got the bases loaded, 1 out, score 1 run, 3 runs score in the inning. So good way to start this game. But the Rangers looking to get back in this game, and they don't score. So still 3-0. Braxton Garrett pitching a hell of a game so far. So still in the game. Solo shot by Josh Jung. Triple by Adolis Garcia. So let's go with the pin. Jacob Webb in the pitch. Gives up a run, a single, and a strikeout. So still a 1-run game. We're going to go to, let's see, Carl Edwards Jr. Gives up a single, but that's it. We end up getting thrown out. 2-run bomb by Christopher Morel. We're going to bring in Andrew once. He's had a down year, but he needs to pitch good here. Gives up a 2-out double. Runner gets thrown out. So Devin Williams in the pitch, top of the ninth. Back-to-back walks leads to a run. Base is loaded. We don't score. So time to bring in Jeff Hoffman just to shut down this game, and he does. So we take game 2, a win away from advancing to the next round here. So let's see, who do we put on the mound? We're going to go Casey Mize. I know we got Flaherty healthy, but we can afford to lose this game. Eric Fetty on the mound. Solo shot to lead off the game by Taveras. And Casey Mize might not have been the right choice. 3-0 Texas already. We get 2 runs back thanks to Rafaela. Maybe Mize can settle in a little bit. We failed to score that inning. Eric Fetty gives up a 2-run bomb to Rafaela. What a game he's had. Scoring driving in all 4 runs for us here. So Casey Mize has settled in. He's settled in a lot better. That first inning was rough, but he's definitely gotten in the groove now. There's a walk, a single. They bring in Tyler Mahle out of the pen, gives up 2 runs. So maybe one more inning. Adam Mize. One more pitch. Error. Okay, bases low. That error definitely hurts. We're going to bring in Spencer Turnbull. Gives up 1 run, 2 run, 3 runs, and the game is tied. And they take the lead thanks to, oh my goodness. That is tough. Wow. Bullpen absolutely chokes the lead. Can our offense get us back in? 2 on, nobody out. Bases loaded, nobody out. 2-run score. Dari Moreta in the pitch. And he keeps it a 1-run game. So we're going to go to Andrew once here. Gives up a single, 2 singles. So we're top of the ninth, down a run. Bo Bichette, Mike Trout, and Josh Naylor in the pitch against Devin Williams. Leadoff walk, double play, an error, a walk, and Morel grounds out to end it. That is a tough loss. So game 5 in Los Angeles. Can we advance? Do we go Flaherty or Corbin Burns? I gotta go Corbin Burns. He pitched so well against them in the first outing he had. Garrett Crochet on the mound for Texas. This looks like it's gonna be a pitching duel, and why couldn't it be with these two? Burns continues to just dominate Texas. There's a solo shot by Christopher Morel. The error definitely hurts us. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Corbin Burns gets out of it. What a spectacular job. 2-0 now as Rafaela continues to hit in this series. 5-0. They bring in Michael Wacha. Let's see if Burns can continue to roll here. Man, he has been spectacular. Sheesh. Solo shot by Josh Naylor. 6-0. We're going to go to the pen. Soriano gives up 2 runs. That's all they get, though. So we're going to bring in Jeff Hoffman. We got to make sure we close out this series. And he does. So we advance to the next round of the series. And we're going to be taking on the Orioles in the American League Championship Series. That ought to be a heck of a series. So here we go. Us against the Orioles. Can we get to the World Series? Jack Flaherty on the mound. At home. He wasn't good last outing he pitched. Solo shot by Sosa to lead off our bottom of the first. This Orioles team is dangerous. So they got Jake Fraley, Jazz Chisholm. What a lineup. Jack Flaherty trying to pitch good against his former team. He's done that so far. We have one hit, and it was a home run. Flaherty gets out of a jam. Grayson Rodriguez has been awesome against us. There's 2 walks, doesn't lead to nothing. Flaherty continues to roll 6 strong innings. There's a leadoff double by Jazz. We leave Flaherty in. Runner on third, 2 outs, and we get out of the inning. What an outing by Jack Flaherty, man. He has been spectacular. So let's see, who do we put in the game? We're going to bring in Caleb Ferguson to set up this inning. Back-to-back singles. We got 2 righties coming up. We bring Andrew once in the game. Strikeout and a fielder's choice. What a job by our pitching staff. Sheesh. And we have 1 hit in the game, and we're winning this game. Jeff Hoffman looking to close it out. Strikeout, pop up, fly out. What a phenomenal job by our pitching staff. Wow. I mean, we got 1 run and 1 hit, and we ended up winning the game. That's clutch pitching. We're gonna give Corbin Burns some rest. We got a 1-0 lead. We're gonna bring in Braxton Garrett to start. Let's see if we can get a 2-0 series lead. Lead off double by Westberg, and they get an early run. Zach Gallen looking to shut us down. Solo shot by Colton Cowser makes it 2-0 Orioles. So 1-2-3 third. Zach Gallen looking to get, and there's a solo shot by Bo Bichette, and a triple by Mike Trout ties the game. What a good job of getting back in this. But we get up the lead right back as Colton Cowser with the 2nd home run of the game. So 1-run game. Another run scores. It might be time to go to the bullpen. Jose Soriano gets us out of the inning. 2-run game tying bomb by Josh Naylor off of Zach Gallen, and we take the lead. Wow. And what a job by Soriano. John Means out of the pen. And Soriano, we left him in 3 innings, and he has been spectacular. So Mike Trout grounds out. Josh Naylor reaches on an error, but it doesn't come back to bite him. We're going to bring in Spencer Turnbull. Pop-up, ground out, pop-up. John Means gives the ball up to Felix Batista. Leadoff single by Rafaela. Joe Adell strikes out. Logan Hoppy strikes out, and we strike out 3 times. 1 more inning out of Turnbull, maybe? Man, what a job. Can we walk it off? 2-out walk, doesn't come around to score. We're going to bring in Jacob Webb against his former team. Gives up a leadoff single. 2 on, 2 out, and they get caught stealing. Wow. So Aaron Ashby, former Brewer in the pitch. Strikeout, fly out, error, and a ground out. We're going to bring in Caleb Ferguson to face a few lefties. 2 walks in a row, but gets out of it. Going to bring in Jeff Hoffman, and he gets out of it. Our bullpen's getting a little thin. We got to get some runs. Sosa ground out. Bichette ground out. Trout with a single. 1 more inning out of Hoffman. He does. 13 innings. Leadoff double by Taylor Ward. We're going to pinch run for him. So who do we pinch run? Kiner Falefa's got solid speed. I don't really see us needing a pinch run here. Chris Morel grounds out. Rafaela scores, drives in the go-ahead run, and we take a 2-0 series lead. Unbelievable. Against the Orioles, too, on top of it. So we're going to go to Reed Detmers, Game 3. He hasn't pitched. We're facing Kyle Bradish. Let's see if we can get a 3-0 series lead here. Solo shot by Ryan Mountcastle, and they score 2 runs, 4 runs in the inning off of Reed Detmers. Not what you want to see. We get a run back, another run back. So it's 4-2. Can Reed settle in a little bit here? Looks like he has. There's a 1-out walk, doesn't score. A little bit of a jam, gets out of it. So 5 quality innings at a read. Maybe one more. Okay, let's not test our luck. Carl Edwards Jr. in the pitch. Gets out of the inning. Can we get some runs? No, we don't. There's a stolen base and a fly out. Yener Cano in the pitch, trying to shut us down. So bottom of the 8th, we're going to put in Andrew once here. Single, strikeout, strikeout. So top of the 9th, Angels looking to get a 3-0 series lead. Orioles looking to stay in the series. Felix Bautista in the pitch. Single, strikeout, single. It's up to Joe Adell. Do we pinch hit for Joe Adell? We're going to bring in Matt Theus here. Aaron Ashby in the pitch. We're going to pinch hit again. Paul DeYoung. And he flies out to end the game. So the Orioles stay in the series. So let's see. We're going to go Corbin Burns. He's healthy. Our Cy Young Award. We're looking to get us a 3-1 series lead against Grayson Rodriguez and the Orioles. Corbin Burns. He's been so good. 2-run score thanks to Mike Trout. Solo shot by Colton Cowser. What a series he's had. And the Orioles tie the series up thanks to Gunnar Henderson. We don't score in the inning. Leadoff double. We got to get that run home. We don't. That is tough. Grayson Rodriguez and Corbin Burns have matched each other pitch by pitch. Run scores, though, 3-2 Orioles as they're trying to get back in this series. Ground out, walk, so it's time to take him out. We're going to go to Caleb Ferguson. Gets a clutch double play. Cano in the pitch, top of the 8th. Game-tying shot by Bo Bichette. An error, a walk, a fly out, and a fielder's choice. One more inning out of Caleb Ferguson. What a job. So top of the 9th, Josh Winkowski in the pitch. Leadoff walk and a double play. 2-out double doesn't lead to nothing. So we're going to bring in Spencer Turnbull. Walk, single, fly out, pop up, single. We're going to bring in Jacob Webb, and he gets a clutch ground ball there. 1-out walk, single, sack bunt, and we fail to score. One more inning out of Webb. Winkowski gives the ball up to Perez. And we still fail to score. Webb's still rolling. We leave him in. 12 innings now. Perez still in the pitch. Leadoff single, fly out, strikeout, fielder's choice. We bring in Soriano, strikeout, walk, single, fielder's choice, stolen base, and a fly out. We go to inning number 13. Morel, Raphael, and Odell. Aaron Ashby in the pitch. Leadoff double. Ground out, pop up, strikeout. Man, we got to score that. 14 innings now. Walk, single, 3-run clutch homer by Josh Naylor. Man, has he been incredible. Wow. Okay, time to go to Jeff Hoffman here to close it out. And he does. We take a 3-1 series lead against the Orioles. We are 1 win away from going to the World Series in a spectacular turnaround of a franchise. We got to go Jack Flaherty. Let's get this series wrapped up and give our team some rest. Zach Gallen on the mound. Gives up an early run. Josh Naylor continues to be amazing. Leadoff double by Morel. Doesn't lead to nothing. Flaherty going to work against his former team. Strikeout, single, single, strikeout, pop-up. Leadoff single, strikeout, strikeout. 2-run bomb by Joe Adell, and it's 3-0 Angels. Flaherty has been awesome in this game, man. So John Means in the pitch. Going to keep letting Flaherty go to work. He's been spectacular. Strikeout, walk, 2-run bomb by Jake Fraley. Probably shouldn't have took him out for the walk. So who do we put in here? We're going to put in Andrew once. Pop up, ground out. John Means, 1-run game, still in. We got to go to Jeff Hoffman here to close it out. 1-out double, a walk, a fly out. And we escape and are going to the World Series to face the Reds or the Pirates. Unbelievable. Can we end this franchise with a World Series? My only one I've had in these franchises is the Milwaukee Brewers. So we've had some days off. I'm going to go Corbin Burns game 1 here against Hunter Green. Reds and Angels would be a hell of a World Series. One out. Solo shot by Mike Trout, and it's 1-0. He's trying to win his first World Series here. Hitter's Ballpark. Hunter Green's been up and down so far. Solo shot by one of our former prospects, Shaniel, and it's now 1-1. Hunter Green's been good besides that home run by Trout. Just a little bit of a 2-out jam. In a hitter's ballpark, both these pitchers be pitching this good is very impressive. 2-run bomb by Matt McLean is 3-1. So we got to get our offense going here. Lead off double by De La Cruz. Let's go to our bullpen. Carl Edwards Jr. gets out of the leadoff double. Hunter Green still mowing us down here. Maybe one more inning out of Carl. Good job by him. Top of the 8th. Hunter Green gives it up to Alexis Diaz. Walk. Pop up. Walk. Pop up. Taylor Ward pops up. Man, that is tough. We go to Spencer Turnbull, leadoff walk, strikeout, fly out, and a ground out. So top of the 9th, down 3-1. Sam Mole gives it up to Mason Miller. Fly out, strikeout, ground out. So we lose game 1 of the World Series. Offense just couldn't get going here. So game 2 is a must-win in Cincinnati. We're going to put Jack Flaherty on the mound. And Mundo Sosa got hurt too. Oh, that's tough. We're going to put Rafaela leading off. He's been spectacular. Single, 2-run bomb by Mike Trout off of Lodolo gets us an early lead. 1-out triple, a walk, and the Reds fail to score. So Flaherty in a little bit of a jam, gets out of it again. So Lodolo's been good besides that 2-run bomb to Mike Trout. He has been raking in this World Series so far. Solo shot by Alejandro Kirk, who hasn't played much in this playoffs in general. 3-0. Reds get a run back. So Jack Flaherty gave us everything we wanted so far in this game. 6 strong innings. TJ Antone in the pitch for the Reds. Maybe one more inning out of Flaherty. Okay, 2 walks. 3 righties coming up. We're going to go to Jacob Webb. Single, 1 run scores, and another run score. We get out of it with the game tied. So Falefa doesn't score or get a hit. 2 on, 2 out. 3-run bomb by Josh Naylor, and we take the lead. Emilio Pagan in the pitch. We bring in Andrew Wantz here. So it's up to Jeff Hoffman to get us to a tied series. 2 on, and he escapes a jam. So we tie the series 1-1. So now we're going home to Los Angeles. These fans are going to be rowdy to see a World Series just like the Reds fans. We're going to put Braxton Garrett on the mound. Let's see if we can get a 2-1 series lead here. Single, fly out. Reds fail to score. So do we. Looking like a pitching duel so far. Nestor Cortez Jr. has been just as good. Man, has this been a pitching duel. And we escaped 6 strong innings from Braxton Garrett. We lead off single. We're going to take him out here. We're going to put in Caleb Ferguson, a few lefties coming up. Ends up getting out of the jam. Lead off walk, double play. Man, we have been getting smoked by Nestor Cortez. Bring in Jacob Webb. Faces the heart of the order, gets out of it. 2-out single. So we go to Carl Edwards Jr. Pop up, fly out, fly out. Nestor Cortez Jr. pitched 8 strong innings. TJ Antone in the pitch against the heart of the order. And we can't score. Errors, single, strikeout, double play. What a job by Carl Edwards Jr. Ground out, ground out, ground out. We bring in Soriano here to give us some innings. 11 innings. Emilio Pagan, solo walk-off home run by Rafaela. And we take a 2-1 World Series lead. He has been so good. Wow, what a swing and a clutch home run. So we're going to go Reed Detmers here. Lefty on the mound. 1-out double. Doesn't score. Andrew Abbott on the mound. 2 on, 2 out. Can't score. Solo shot by our former first baseman. Gets him the lead. It's 1-0. A little bit of a jam here. Gets out of it, only giving up 1 run. We got to get our offense going. 1-run score. We might have to go to Soriano again. It ain't looking good. Hopefully he give us a few innings. Reds are going to work right now, though. 6-0. So Soriano still trying to keep us in the game. Our offense still no runs. Really just keeping the bullpen fresh. So he gives up 1 run. So we're going to go to Turnbull here. And this is just looking like one of them games the offense just can't get going. Bottom of the 9th, and we lose 7-0. So the offense just didn't get going the entire game. So game 5, last game, we got Sosa back, which is a big plus. Last game at our home ballpark, we got Corbin Burnes rested up. Let's do it. Let's take this 3-2 series lead heading to Cincinnati. 1 out single, doesn't get home. Nick Lodolo on the mound. 2 out triple by Mike Trout. Josh Naylor drives him in, 1-0. Solo shot by Christopher Morel. He's been quiet, but that's a big swing right there. Runner gets thrown out. Corbin Burnes, a little bit of a jam here. 3-run bomb. Man, Straniel, oh my goodness, he is just not fond of us trading him, that's for sure. Another run scores. So 4-2. Solo shot by Spencer Steer. And again, we got to go to the bullpen. Carl Edwards Jr. 2-run bomb by Tyler Stevenson. The Reds take a 7-2 lead. That is tough. We go to Jacob Webb. Solo shot by Matt McLean. The Reds say, you know what, we're going home with a 3-2 series lead. Single, fly out, another run scores. Our bullpen has not done well in this game either. Lodolo has completely shut us down. There's 2 runs. TJ Antone gives up another run, 9-5, 9-7, thanks to Mike Trout, and we have life here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, Jeff Hoffman. We're going to use him a little early just to keep this game, and might have not been a great move, but we'll have to see. So top of the 9th, we're bringing Andrew 1. Solo shot again by our former first baseman. So bottom of the 9th, down 4. Mason Miller, leadoff single, fly out, walk, 1 run scores. Taylor Ward, bases loaded for Christopher Morel, a 1 out. Scores a run. Do we leave in Joe Adele? I'm going to. Sam Moll, the lefty, 1 run scores. Alejandro Kirk flies out. We lose by 1. Oh, man, that is a tough loss. But we got to win these next 2 games in Cincinnati. We're putting Flaherty on the mound here. Game 6, must-win game, obviously, against Hunter Green. Can we get some early offense? Can Jack give us a better performance? In a hitter's ballpark, Hunter Green looks spectacular so far. Flaherty's matching him so far. 2-run bomb by De La Cruz. 2-0. And the way Hunter Green's pitching, I don't know, it ain't looking too good. Solo shot by Joe Adele, though, gets us on the board. It's time to go to the pen. Spencer Turnbull, walk, strikeout, 1 run scores, an error. Man, that's not what you want in a World Series game, an error like that. 4-1, 2 out walk, doesn't lead to nothing. Another run scores, 5-1 Reds. There's a leadoff double by Rafaela, but we can't get him home, and our offenses went completely AWOL. So top of the 9th, our World Series dreams on the line. Heart of the order against TJ Antone. Walk, strikeout, single. Mason Miller in to close out this game 6. And he does. So the Cincinnati Reds have won the World Series. Angel fans, we came so close to winning it all with this team, which I didn't even expect to get that far with this team. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this franchise. We got 3 more episodes left. The Oakland A's, the Seattle Mariners, and the Texas Rangers. Make sure to tune in for those. Check out the NEW Wrestling Podcast link in the description if you love wrestling. I will see you guys next time. Peace.